Hi, today I'm at the shore. The reason I'm at the shore is because I can't travel over to Europe to some of the universities that I want to highlight in this week of the Pray the Campus campaign, hashtag Pray the Campus. Today I'm going to talk about a university that was founded in the middle of the 16th century, 1551, by a guy named Ignatius of Loyola. It was founded in Rome, Italy. It was dedicated to Pope Gregory, so it's the Pontifical Gregorian University. And it was Ignatius of Loyola was the founder of the Society of Jesus, which is the Jesuits. The Jesuits were very effective and very active in world evangelism and in planting churches, communities around the world. I'm going to highlight two, but before I do that, you recall that in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and when he sailed, he went. Initially, he was planning on going to India, of course, and when he landed in the New World, he started a movement to this New World that came out of the Roman Catholic Church, and a lot of negatives come out of that. There's a lot of negative press about Columbus today, of course, and the oppression of native peoples. But there's also the positive side of this story, and that positive side needs to be highlighted just as much as the negative. And so I'm going to try to rebalance a little bit with this. Christopher Columbus was a light bearer. He was a light bearer for Jesus. He had written in his journal many times that he was on a mission that was for Jesus. He served Christ to the best of his knowledge in his time. Yes, he did some things that were wrong. But there were many that followed him, and those that followed him went over the course of 30 years after Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He started a movement that planted 200 cities or churches, parishes, in the New World, all over Latin America, today's Latin America, and the North American continent. So that was an active missionary enterprise, wouldn't you agree? 30 years, 200 cities. That's not a small investment. It was an investment that was coming out of the King Ferdinand and Isabella, the Roman Catholic Church, the missionary enterprise, and yes, people did get oppressed. And for all our negatives, the gospel is not shy about talking about the negative side of human behavior. In fact, without knowing the negative side, the positive has very little value. There is no resurrection without a cross. We have to acknowledge the cost of human sin so that we can rejoice in what God is intending and is doing in the earth. That said, the two people I want to highlight are two of the earliest students that came out of the Gregorian University, which is famed as, and I have a book that is entitled University of the Nations. The Gregorian University was a university of the nations. They trained people for missionary enterprise around the world. Their motto is gospel, or I should say, religion and culture. We as relevant believers need to play like a disc jockey. We need to play gospel on one side and culture on the other. We need to be engaging culture with our faith. We need to be aware of what's going on in culture, and we need to engage it. So that's the way they taught these missionaries, and two of them are Francis Xavier and Matteo Ricci. Francis Xavier and Matteo Ricci went first to Goa, which is a Portuguese colony originally on the western coast of India. They landed there and they found their way up into China. Francis Xavier went on into Japan as a missionary to a very, very distant land and a very different culture. And he brought the gospel to Japan. Matteo Ricci was trying to dress appropriately to the culture as he understood it. He was dressed as a Buddhist monk, and he was having no effect at all on the culture. There were no converts, if you will. Nobody came to faith in Christ. So he was feeling dejected and discouraged, and so he threw off that, and he put on his normal outfit, which was of a gentry, an intelligentsia, the community of scholars. And he went into the emperor's city, and he started a shop to fix clocks. That was his trade. And as it turned out, that was the best missionary approach. He was asked by the emperor to come and to fix his clock, and then was invited to translate several documents, and he began to write poems and songs that were the explanation of the gospel to the Chinese people from the emperor in the emperor's palace on. So today's Pray the Campus is about the gospel and culture. It's about the Gregorian University. It's about missionaries that learned from their mistakes. And yes, we all make mistakes. Some of us take a long time to learn how to do better. I'm one of them. But I'm praying. I'm asking God for a new generation of people passionate for the gospel and culture in society, and that being through the universities and the professions, to express the faith of Jesus as a clockmaker, to express the faith of Jesus in any respect we can, including writing poems and plays, doing scientific research, from the libraries to the laboratories, making Jesus known. This is my prayer for the universities today. #PrayTheCampus. We'll see you next time.